What if I told you that a single movement, one simple exercise, could reverse the effects of aging, awaken your strength, and reignite the power you thought was lost forever? And what if this movement didn't just change your body, but your entire spirit? Motion is the eternal rhythm of life itself. Everything that lives moves. The rivers flow, the stars spin, the heart beats, and the breath rises and falls like an ocean tide. When motion stops, life ceases. Yet many people, as they grow older, slowly allow stillness to replace movement, and they begin to fade, not because age has taken their strength, but because they have forgotten that movement is the source of vitality. The moment you decide to move again with purpose, something miraculous begins to happen within you. Your body remembers its design. Your blood flows with energy. Your joints awaken. Your spirit stirs. And you begin to reclaim the life that inactivity had quietly stolen. Every motion you make is a declaration to the universe that you are still here, still capable, still growing. When you stretch, when you rise, when you walk or lift your body from a chair, you are reaffirming the ancient truth that energy is not lost with time. It is only waiting for your command. You see, motion is not just a physical act. It is a spiritual conversation between your body and your will. The mind says, rise, and the body obeys. The will says, I can, and the muscles respond. That single decision to move begins a chain reaction within every cell of your being. The oxygen that floods your lungs becomes fuel for every organ, every thought, every emotion. Your body becomes an instrument of life once more, tuned to the frequency of vitality. Modern science confirms what the wise have always known. Movement creates life. When you move, you stimulate circulation, strengthen the heart, sharpen the mind, and release chemicals that restore calm and happiness. Yet, beyond all science, there is a spiritual truth. Motion is faith made visible. Each time you move, you are telling yourself that you still believe in tomorrow. You are telling your heart that you still have a reason to beat. That is why movement has a magic that no pill or treatment can ever replace. When you choose to move daily, even in small ways, you set in motion a law of nature. What moves, grows. The person who walks, dances, stretches, or exercises is not merely burning calories. They are burning away doubt, fear, and limitation. Movement renews confidence. It restores youth to the mind long before it reshapes the body. It reminds you that you are the master of your vessel, not the victim of your years. So understand this: motion is not only exercise for the body, it is nourishment for the soul. It is your declaration of independence from the chains of aging. When you move, you awaken the very force that created you. You become alive in the truest sense, because movement is the living proof that life still flows through you. Keep moving, and life will keep moving through you, endlessly, powerfully, beautifully. There is a certain beauty in simplicity, and few movements capture that truth like the chair squat. It is not a complicated exercise. It does not require machines, weights, or expensive gym memberships. It requires only your body, your will, and a single chair. Yet, within this humble act lies one of the most powerful tools for rebuilding strength, balance, and independence, especially for those who have crossed 60 and wish to feel alive again. The chair squat is far more than a physical movement. It is a symbol of renewal, a daily ritual that reminds your body that it was made to rise. Each time you lower yourself to the chair and rise again, you are performing the most fundamental motion of human life, the act of standing. It is the movement you use to get up in the morning, to greet a friend, to embrace a loved one, to live independently. This motion, repeated with awareness, strengthens the very muscles that preserve your freedom, your legs, your core, your back, and your hips. It improves your balance, protects your joints, and awakens coordination that age often tries to steal. Surgeons and physicians recommend it because it builds what truly matters as the years pass: stability, strength, and confidence. The power of the chair squat comes from how it unites body and mind. As you begin, your mind must command your muscles. I will lower with control. I will rise with strength. In that moment, you are not only training your body, you are training your will. You learn patience, precision, and trust in yourself. Each repetition is a message to your subconscious that you are capable of progress, that you are not limited by time, that renewal is still possible. The act of rising becomes a declaration. I am still growing, still powerful, still alive. When you perform this exercise daily, something deeper begins to occur. You notice how your breathing aligns with your movement, how your heart beats with purpose, how energy flows through you like electricity returning to an old but resilient circuit. With every repetition, your circulation improves, your digestion strengthens, and your posture straightens. Your body begins to carry itself differently, not with the weight of age, but with the dignity of strength. The pain that once whispered in your knees or back begins to fade, replaced by a quiet confidence that comes from reclaiming control over your own body. The chair squat also teaches humility and gratitude. Each time you touch the chair, you are reminded that you are not falling, but preparing to rise again. You are learning to control descent and celebrate ascent, just as in life. There will be times when you go down, but through strength and faith, you always rise again. That is the true lesson hidden in this simple movement. The chair may appear as a piece of furniture, but in truth, it is a teacher, one that reminds you daily that renewal is not an event, it is a choice, a rhythm, a rising that begins with you. Every great transformation begins not with muscle, but with the mind. The body is a magnificent servant, but it takes its orders from the thoughts that govern it. What you believe becomes what you feel, and what you feel becomes what you do. If the mind whispers weakness, the body grows weary. But when the mind commands strength, the body obeys with a power that surprises even the one who wields it. The truth is simple but profound. Your body is not limited by your age, it is limited by your belief about age. From the moment you wake each day, your thoughts begin shaping the condition of your body. When you say to yourself, I am tired, I am old, I can't do this, your cells listen. They slow their rhythm, they lose vitality, and they mirror the message your mind has sent. But if you rise and say, today I will grow stronger, today I will move forward, your body answers with renewed energy and willingness. The human body is designed to adapt to the demands placed upon it, and those demands begin with thought. The mind is the architect, the body is the builder. The quality of the building depends on the clarity of the design. Consider for a moment how many victories or failures in life were born in the quiet realm of thought before any action took place. Every invention, every achievement, every recovery began as an idea held firmly in the mind. The same law governs your physical strength. Before your legs can lift you from a chair, your mind must decide to rise. Before your heart can endure a challenge, your thoughts must prepare it with courage. What you consistently think, you eventually become. This is the great law of mind over matter, a law as ancient as humanity itself. Those who master their thoughts command their destiny. You can condition your mind to see exercise not as a burden, but as an opportunity to express life. You can train your thoughts to look at motion as freedom instead of effort. When that mental shift happens, your body follows with grace and discipline. The exercises you once avoided become moments of joy because your mind no longer resists them. It invites them, it celebrates them, and through that harmony, the body begins to transform. This is why some people, even in their later years, radiate vitality, while others surrender to decline. The difference lies not in genetics, but in mental leadership. The ones who stay strong are those who speak to their body with authority, who say, you will move today, you will heal, you will grow. The cells obey that voice like loyal soldiers following a trusted commander. When the mind commands with conviction, the body responds with faith. The connection is sacred, for it reveals the divine truth that thought is the seed of every action. Strength does not begin in the muscles. It begins in the mind that dares to believe it still possesses power. Discipline is the quiet force that separates those who merely wish from those who truly live. It is the invisible bridge between desire and transformation, the sacred thread that binds intention to reality. Many people seek youth in bottles, creams, and medicines, hoping to capture what time seems to steal. But the truth is this: youth is not lost, it is neglected. It hides behind the consistency we refuse to practice, waiting for us to return to the rhythm of effort. Discipline, steady, unshakable, faithful discipline, is the real youth serum because it keeps both the body and spirit in motion. Every great result in life is born from repetition. The musician practices scales until his fingers sing without thought. The scholar reads until wisdom becomes instinct. The athlete trains until motion and mastery are one. The same is true for the body that wishes to stay strong after 60. The first day of exercise may bring discomfort, the second, resistance, but the third, fourth, and fifth day begin to whisper hope. With every repetition, the body adapts, the mind strengthens, and the heart remembers that it was made to endure. Discipline becomes a rhythm, not of exhaustion, but of awakening. What most people call aging is often the slow consequence of inconsistency. Muscles weaken not because they cannot grow, but because they're not called upon to do so. Energy fades not because it disappears, but because it is not summoned. Discipline reverses this decay by commanding the body to rise again every single day without negotiation. It is the daily promise you make to yourself that no matter how you feel, you will honor your commitment to movement, health, and vitality. Discipline is not punishment. It is love in motion. It is the mind saying to the body, you are worth this effort. It is the daily act of gratitude expressed through consistency. Each morning you move, stretch, or exercise, you are thanking life for another chance to grow. And the universe responds in kind by strengthening your bones, renewing your energy, and sharpening your focus. Over time, discipline becomes its own reward. You begin to crave the feeling of purpose it brings, the peace that follows routine, and the quiet confidence that comes from keeping your promises. True youth does not live in the smoothness of the skin, but in the steadiness of the will. The person who rises every day, rain or shine, to nurture their body commands a vitality that no clock can measure. Discipline transforms motion into momentum and effort into mastery. It restores dignity, pride, and joy in living. It whispers to the body, you are still becoming. When the world grows lazy, discipline stands tall. When excuses grow louder, discipline grows stronger. It does not need applause or approval. It thrives in silence, in the quiet repetition of self-respect. And through it, time bends, not backward, but upward, lifting you into the ageless power of purpose. Strength is more than the measure of muscle. It is the essence of freedom. It is the quiet assurance that you can rely on yourself, that your body still answers your command, and that your life belongs to your own hands. After 60, strength becomes more than physical ability. It becomes independence. Without it, every simple act begins to require permission. With it, every day becomes an opportunity to live on your own terms. Strength is not just about lifting weights. It is about lifting your life back into your control. Each movement you make, each step you take without fear is a declaration of liberty. The body that can rise from a chair without help, walk with balance, and carry its own weight is the body that lives with dignity. That is why maintaining and rebuilding strength is not a matter of vanity. It is an act of self-respect. It protects your freedom to move, to act, to participate fully in life. Strength allows you to explore the world rather than shrink from it. It gives you the confidence to travel, to work in your garden, to dance, to play with your grandchildren, to live without fear of falling or failing. Weakness, on the other hand, steals more than energy. It steals confidence. It makes the mind cautious, the heart uncertain, and the spirit timid. But the beautiful truth is that strength can always be rebuilt. The body is an incredible instrument of renewal, capable of responding to challenge even after years of neglect. The muscles that once seemed dormant are simply waiting to be called upon again. The bones that have grown weary can be reinforced by steady effort. Every act of resistance training, every squat, every lift, every stretch is a reminder that you are capable of rising stronger. When you build strength, you are not only training your muscles, you are reprogramming your mind. You are teaching yourself that you can still grow, still adapt, still command your destiny. The process builds confidence in motion, but also clarity in thought. Strong bodies carry strong minds, and strong minds create purposeful lives. This connection between physical and mental strength forms the true foundation of independence, the power to choose your path without limitation. There is no greater gift in later years than the ability to depend on yourself. Independence is the reward for effort. Every repetition of movement, every deliberate act of strength is a step toward that freedom. You may not realize it at first, but as your body strengthens, your spirit expands. Tasks that once seemed heavy become effortless. Fear fades, replaced by assurance. You no longer measure your days by what you cannot do, but by what you still can. Strength is a sacred form of self-reliance. It is the bridge between aging and living, between dependency and dignity. When you cultivate it, you do more than preserve your body. You preserve your power, your pride, and your peace. There exists within every person a silent, unbreakable force, a spirit that refuses to sit still. It is the spark that keeps the heart beating long after the body grows tired, the whisper that says, rise, when everything else says, rest. This spirit is the essence of life itself. It cannot be destroyed by time, age, or circumstance. It may grow quiet, but it never disappears. For those who choose to listen, it becomes the greatest source of renewal and purpose one can ever know. To live fully after 60 is to recognize that the body may slow, but the spirit was never meant to retire. The tragedy of aging is not weakness, it is surrender. When the mind begins to believe that stillness is safety, the spirit begins to fade. But when you choose to move, when you walk, stretch, or rise from that chair, you reawaken the eternal flame that has guided humanity since the beginning of time. Movement becomes prayer, and each step becomes a declaration that you are still part of life's great rhythm. This spirit thrives on engagement. It feeds on curiosity, passion, and action. It does not grow stronger in comfort, but in challenge. The person who keeps learning, keeps growing, keeps reaching, never grows old in truth. The spirit's strength comes from participation, from refusing to allow fear or fatigue to cage it. When you decide to move despite stiffness, to try despite doubt, to smile despite pain, you are honoring that divine spark within you. It rewards your courage with energy that medicine cannot provide and joy that time cannot steal. Many believe that rest is the key to longevity, but rest without purpose becomes decay. The human spirit was made to create, to explore, to express. Stillness, when chosen as peace, is beautiful, but stillness born from resignation is poison. Each time you choose motion, even in small ways, you remind the universe that your story is not over. You remind yourself that the best moments are not behind you, but waiting for your next act of courage. The spirit that refuses to sit still understands a sacred truth. Life will always meet you at your level of movement. The more you engage, the more it responds. The more you give, the more it gives back. Whether it is through exercise, laughter, service, or creativity, this refusal to be idle keeps your soul young. The fire of vitality does not burn out. It burns down only when it is not fed. And every day you move, every time you act, you feed that fire with your intention. This is the eternal dance between body and soul. The body may carry wrinkles and wear, but the spirit remains radiant and untamed. It asks only one thing of you: do not sit still. Keep reaching, keep moving, keep living. For as long as the spirit refuses stillness, life itself refuses to end. My friend, this single exercise, the humble chair squat, may seem simple, but within it lies the secret of vitality, balance, and independence. Do it daily. Do it with intention. And as you rise, remember that you are not just standing, you are rising against time, weakness, and doubt. The surgeon may approve it, but your spirit must command it. You are not old. You are becoming timeless.